Hello, my name is Jake Freestone. I'm the farm manager at Overbury Farms and we're a leaf demonstration farm. Integrated farm management, what's it all about?
Well, it does what it says on the tin, I think. It combines practical commercial farming and still looking after the environment.
Welcome to Worth Farms. We're one of a number of leaf demonstration farms based all around the country. So here in Holbeach Marsh, we're the sort of go-to place for any public engagement. Members of the public want to come and have a look around a working farm to see how we're interacting with the environment and everything else around us to grow the best crops that we can while still caring for the environment.
Biodiversity provides humans with food and raw materials for fuel and fibre. It also performs ecosystem services such as soil and water conservation, maintenance of soil fertility and pollination, all of which are essential for human survival and critical to a productive agriculture. Protecting and enhancing biodiversity lies at the very heart of LEAF's Integrated Farm Management, IFM. Through the adoption of integrated farm management, farmers are able to deliver vibrant and resilient biodiversity alongside sustainable food production.
Bits of the farm that we can't crop, we're putting down to pollen and nectar, wild birdseed mixes, just to encourage that bit of wildlife to come onto the farm.
It is important to monitor the species present across the farm. Sufficient monitoring will help measure the impact of different practices and help to focus future conservation efforts more effectively.
A lot of what we do is about rotation and the mix of crop. We also have a network of seed banks through the farm, and then we join those up with hedges and grass strips and margins to help the likes of grey partridges nest and move around the farm. We have a lot of marsh harriers which use again these margins to nest. Barn owls we see nesting in or at least 3 or 4 of the barns of the older, more traditional buildings on the farm where they find a bit of peace and quiet. We've got a good breeding group of both herons and egrets in a wood up there on the farm. And again, I think on the farm scale, you actually get a lot of peace and quiet. You know, these animals don't, or these birds and animals don't get disturbed a great deal. We tend to come and go quite quietly, and they get on with living around us.
Biodiversity is affected by a wide range of factors. Changes to soil, water and air can have an important direct and indirect impact on species. Habitats, such as margins, hedges and ditches, all require careful and ongoing management to ensure they continue to provide the optimal benefits to biodiversity.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about how we manage our water here at Overbury. Here we are at Park Farm, where we've invested in some rainwater harvesting technology. 2 10,000 litre harvesting tanks. This water is used to water sheep when they're being housed in the sheds here, or when they're in individual pens or groups of pens out in the farmyard. Behind me we have a stream which is spring fed from the hill, and we use some integrated techniques to help preserve the water quality. The first one is what I'm standing on. We've got a grass tussocky margin which acts to intercept pesticides and fertiliser from the arable field to my left. The other side of the hedge we've actually got a pollen and nectar high level stewardship margin, which again can help provide insect feed and cover for birds, as well as intercepting and protecting the water running down through this bit of a valley. Here we have a cover crop of mustard which benefits water quality in 2 ways. Firstly, it locks up nutrients within the field so they can't be washed away, particularly in periods of heavy rainfall. The second benefit is that it stops soil erosion down the slope. Here is a good example of a silt trap that we've created along one of the many field ditches we have on the farm. Its purpose was to widen and deepen the ditch to slow the water down. With the water moving at a slower pace, any soil particles held within the water can sink to the bottom. These silt traps can then be muddied out periodically and returned back to the field. As the water exits the silt trap, it returns to the natural ditch line. 12 months ago, we excavated over 150 tonnes of soil from these 2 areas of the farm. We instated the reed beds, and as you can see, the reeds have still to get to full size and maturity. In time, the reeds will develop to cover this whole area. They'll then provide a habitat for birds like reed buntings and also great insect habitat. So as the water passes through the reed beds, it's being cleaned, the reeds are taking any fertiliser and nutrients out of the water. The theory says that this water should have a higher quality, but it's very important for us as land managers to monitor that. So we have nitrate and phosphate kits that we can analyse water as it leaves the farm and actually as it arrives on the farm to work out what impact our farming systems are having on that water quality.
Working with conservation and biodiversity groups, neighbouring farmers and the local community can bring further benefits.